Hi, welcome to another lecture with me. My name is IntelliJ and I'm super happy to introduce you to Introduction to Python Programming using MySQL. In the previous videos, I have shown you how to download, install, configure, and run MySQL. And also I have shown you how to execute select statements using MySQL Workbench and MySQL Shell, and I have also written a very small Java application and connected this to the Sakila database in MySQL. In this lecture, I'm going to show you just how to connect your Python application using IntelliJ IDEA to MySQL Sakila database. Again, we are going to use and we are going to run a select statement and run a query on top of the actor table. So let's get started. I want to create a new Python project using IntelliJ IDEA. For this matter, I just click on New Project. And then in the left side, you should be able to see the programming languages that are available. Normally it is not there. The Python project is not there. You need to install it on your IntelliJ IDEA and on your computer. In order to show you how to do so, because I have already installed Python, I can't reinstall it again, but I'm going to show you how to, for example, install C++. And then here, when you type C++ and search in Marketplace, it will show you all the things that are related to C++. Then I can remove it from here and then type Python here. So you can see that I have installed Python and Python Community Edition. And in order to do so, you just need to click on Install button and then wait for the installation to complete. Once the installation is complete, you press OK, and then this window will close. So you are going back to this window, and when you are going back to this window, you can choose your Python project and then type PRJ Python database, and then I will use new environment for this Python project and virtual environment for the environmental type, and press on Create button. The new virtual environment will create, and so I can use this, this Python project in IntelliJ IDEA to create my new simple Python application to connect it to MySQL. So the next step is to open terminal and install MySQL connector for Python. In that case, we should write down the following command here in our terminal. So we say pip and then install mysql-connector-python, and then press enter. So let's wait for the packages to download and install. But then you see here, it shows me that a new release of pip is available. So the current version is 23.2.1, but it says that 25.0.1 is available. So in that case, we just copy this. We just copy this recommended command here and paste it here. So python.exec -m pip install -- upgrade pip, and then press enter, and then it will successfully update the pip version to 25.0.1. Now this is the latest version for us. Now we need to go to our PRJ Python database, right click here, new, and then Python file, and then I'm gonna call it Python database, and then press enter. So I've got now Python database. All right, so this is the code that I have written, and it has a maximum of 41 lines. It is a very short Python code. The first line that we need to use is import mysql.connector, because we want to connect to MySQL, so we need to import mysql.connector, and then from mysql.connector we need to import error. Error is used for exception handling in this application. So this is a class, an exception that is base class for all other error exceptions. So we want to catch all the exceptions, therefore we are going to use from mysql.connector import error. And then in the next step we need to create a function which is called connect. So I say def connect, and then this is like the comment for myself, or you can add the comment for yourself or for others to review your code. So connect to MySQL database, this is the command line, and then because these lines may be error prone, in that case we put them inside the try block. So I open the try block inside the function connect, and then I say mysql.connector.connect. So connect is a function that we use. So it says that creates or gets a MySQL connection object. So if you really want to connect to MySQL object, you are going to use mysql.connector.connect, but then again you need to name your host. In our case it is called localhost. The database name, we are going to connect to Sakila, and then my username is root, my password is also root. So this is my connection. I try to create this connection, and then I check this connection. So the output of this connect will be stored in the connection here, and then we are going to check connection.is_connected. So if the connection is successful, then we are going to retrieve like the get_server_info. It will retrieve the original MySQL version information. So it will return the version of MySQL for you, and then it will store it in db_info. So once you have stored it there, you can write it down as print connected to MySQL server version, and then you can write down like db_info, and then it will print out the version that you have installed on your, for example, localhost. Then the next step is to create a cursor. So we use connection and then .cursor. Look here, we have the function cursor. So it instantiates and returns a cursor. So we want to instantiate and return a cursor, and then store it in cursor, and then try to execute the cursor. But in order to execute the cursor, the first statement that I want to execute is select database. Select database means it will select the database or the current database, and it will retrieve that database. Our current database is Sakila in that case. Then in this code, the cursor.fetch1, it will retrieve the data for the first record, and it will store it into record. So fetch1, we have different functions. The fetch1 retrieves next row of a query result set. So for the query result set, we can use fetch1, or we can use, for example, if I remove it here, we have like fetch all, for example, to retrieve all the records. But for this case, let's just use fetch1, and then store this record inside the record, and then we can say print you are connected to the database, and then this is the name of the database that we retrieve from our database using this select database statement. Now after that, we are interested in executing the select statement that we have for example written in our MySQL workbench. So I can again show you in MySQL Workbench how does actually this select statement work. So I'm going back to my MySQL Workbench, and then let's paste this query here. So select actor ID, first name, last name, and last update from Sakila.actor. So run it, and then it will retrieve actor ID, first name, last name, and last update for all the following records. The final record is 200, Torah, temple, and this is the last update of the last record. So this is the query, and this query has to return these information for you. So let's go back to our IntelliJ IDEA Python code. So in that case, in order to run another select statement, this select statement retrieve the name of the database, but this select statement using a cursor.execute will retrieve the data, the following metadata from Sakila.actor table. So, and then once we run this select statement, we can use cursor.fetch all to retrieve all the records from the select statement and store them in our rows. And then this is the comment line, so print the retrieved data. So for row in rows, you can print out the following. So you can say that row 0, and then actor ID is row 0, and the first name is row 1, and last name is row 2, and the last update is row 3. So we are gonna run this for loop for the and then also this print command in order to retrieve all the data that are available in our actor table within the Sakila database in MySQL database management system. Now, if anything happens in between, if, for example, if the connection is unsuccessful, or if there is any error messages, for example, in our select statement, then we have like this except error as E. This means that we can catch this specific, this specific exception. So we can catch this specific exception, and we can print out this exception, for example, error while connecting to MySQL using this E, variable that we have created here. And finally, we don't forget to close our connection. In the previous application that I have written, the Java. That I have written it in the Java programming language, I forgot to close the connection, but we should always remember that we need to close all the connections. So in that case, we close our cursor, and also we close our connection, but we check it if connection dot is underline connected. So this means that if the connection is established, then first we close cursor, and then we close connection, and then we print it out and say print MySQL connection is closed. And in order to run this application, we have function main here, which inside function main we call function connect, which we have created already in line 4. And this is like the executable line in order to run your Python application. So you can run it from here, or let's click here and then run this Python database file using this button. So if I scroll up, we can see that we are connected to MySQL Server version 8.0.41, and in the next line you can see that you are connected to database Sakila. Of course, we are connected to database Sakila. And then in the following lines, you can find out all the records that are available in your actor table in the Sakila database in MySQL database management system. So the last record is record number 200. The first name is Torah, the last name is Temple, and this is the last update for this specific record. And then we have written here MySQL connection is closed and application is application is finished with exit code 0 successfully and there is no error messages here. But if we want to troubleshoot this, if by any chance, if let's say let's put 1 after this select statement and rerun this application, let's see what happens. So the first one connected to server MySQL server version 8.0.41 is okay. We are connected successfully to Sakila database, that's okay, but then it says error while connecting to MySQL, and then this is the error code 1064. You have an error in your SQL syntax. So this is a syntax error. Check the manual for that. And then we are going to check our syntax to make sure that our query is has been correctly written inside this Python code. So I have fixed that. Let's run this application here, run Python database. So we have troubleshoot the error message in this syntax error, and so the output of this Python application will be shown in your terminal. All right, so that was it. So I tried to teach you very simple Python application and show you how to connect this simple Python application to MySQL using the following simple Python codes. See you in the next video. Take care and bye bye.